somebody said, this isn't the first time they've said it too, Billy, the wrestling coach here, he goes, oh my God, you look like handsome Squidward. And you know what's funny? My sister sent me a mug of handsome Squidward.
Oh,
these motherfuckers, dude. These motherfuckers.
Bastards.
Uh-huh.
Vince, how are you?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Good. How was practice?
Yeah, it was great. It's great. Just another one in the books, dude. Counting down every one of them. Next week's fight week.
11 days out. How are you feeling?
Amped. I'm pumped up. It's a sick fight. Super stoked. I feel like it's been a long time coming. Since the last fight, I've literally been bugging my manager about getting me back in. So here we are finally.
Before we talk about that, I did want to talk about the Just Cause podcast. How do you, I guess, what was the idea to start it?
Just for a while, me and Ricky have talked about like wanting to do something together along those lines, and we've talked about it for years, and then finally like we just decided screw it. Like we kept trying to wait for the right time and the right stuff and the right yada yada, and it's never really gonna be right. We're gonna get there, we'll make it right. So we just decided to start it up one day, and I think every time we record it gets a little better, a little better, a little better. Quality gets better, conversations get better, the flow gets better. It's been great to play with that with them.
You enjoying it?
Yeah, a lot, man. Actually, I don't enjoy because we're doing all in-house editing, which means it's all me. So I took a few like video editing stuff back in high school, and I'm trying to bring it all back. So it's a little time consuming, but I still enjoy it.
Nothing worse than video editing, bro.
Oh, but it's so tedious, monotonous, dude.
Yeah. It's been 6 months since your fight with Jonathan Martinez. What did you learn from that fight?
Let's see. I think in that fight, the biggest thing was we had planned to do something that we didn't do, and we knew we were going to have an issue doing it. That's why we planned to do it, and I couldn't get past the issue of not doing it. Does that make sense? It's confusing if you don't know what I'm talking about. So we call it a force field. Like a plan was to go forward, miss a few to land a few.
Okay.
I was going forward expecting and wanting to land every single time, and when I wasn't, because his distance management was pretty good, I'd miss and stop. It's literally not what we planned to do. So learned it's not always going to be easy, and we've got to adjust our expectations accordingly. And again, I got to get going sooner. I feel like the third round I finally got on the ball with some things, but too little, too late.
Those goddamn Factory X leg kicks.
Yeah, can't beat him, join him, dude. I'm a leg kicker now. Only leg kicks.
Do you ever think about, like, you know, Jonathan Martinez got the Cub Swanson half for you?
Yep.
Do you ever think, like, if I would have beat him, I would have got that Cub Swanson
100%.
fight?
Every time. As soon as they announced it, I'm like, great. That makes sense because he beat me. So if I'd have beat him, that should have been me.
Does it, like, bum you out?
Motivates me a little bit. Things like that kind of always bum me out in a certain way, and I think it's okay to feel that, but it's not okay to dwell on it and let it kind of run things. So let it bum me out and move accordingly and get back on my path of values is what I say.
Miles Johns.
Yeah.
Short notice opponent. Did I read, and then your first opponent, Jose Johnson, did I read somewhere that, like, you and Jose are friends?
Yeah, we had, so when COVID first started, Ricky Simone was on the first COVID card in Jacksonville. Okay. And he flew out Jose Johnson and myself to go train with him. So we all bunked up and played video games and ate dinner together and did like a whole roommate session for a few weeks with Ricky during his camp. So after that, me and Jose kept playing video games, and yeah, just kind of maintained a little bit of a friendship.
So when they matched you guys up, were you just kind of like, that's weird?
Yeah, but like I never really feel like we're in a position where we can say no and kind of argue against it. So be it. He called me right away. We talked for a second. We're just like, all right, bro, I'll see you on the 19th. It's what it is. No hard feelings.
Got it. It's just a job.
Yeah, just a job. Business is business. And unfortunately, with things like this, when it is against friends, it's either my career or your career. I'm gonna look out for my career. So. Yeah.
Gotcha. Kind of a completely different.
Entirely different. Yep.
I mean, Jose Johnson and Miles Johns, it's totally different. So how do you kind of dodge and dodge and kind of game plan for this?
Just adjust accordingly, really. We're planning a little bit more of a wrestling game plan. That's one thing I also haven't showed in the UFC is my ability to wrestle, and I think these mother flowers don't really they don't know what I can do. So we were looking to bring some of that to the table. Miles Johns having a pretty solid wrestling pedigree himself. We'll see what comes out. Just being mindful of a few different things. The range is obviously going to be different. The size is going to be different. The strength level, I'm sure, is going to be different. Is what it is. I'm gonna be here to fight. I don't care who it is, when it is.
So you go from a banging kickboxing fight to now you get to show off your wrestling. Is it kind of cool?
So be it. Don't matter to me, really, dude. I was just looking to. I just wanted to fight. As soon as I found out Jose was out, a text later, it was Miles Johnson step in. I'm like, okay, coach, what do you think? Dude, I'm down. Like, whatever you think. And I was like, I need to fight again this year. I can't have my only fight this year be Martinez and have it go the way it went. So I've been in the gym grinding ever since.
Good. Miles Johns left Fortis. Is at Glory.
Yep.
As someone who has switched gyms, do you read into that at all?
I don't care too much. I mean, if it works better for him, so be it. It's not gonna work that much better against me. I'm more concerned with what I'm doing and how I'm progressing, more so than like everything that they're gonna bring to the table, whether that's like happier mindset or fucking whatever it may be. I do hear some things about people not enjoying Fortis. Maybe somewhere where you can enjoy it. Good for him. Enjoy the training because you're probably gonna enjoy the fight.
On paper, it is a fun fight. It is a fun fight. How do you see the fight going? And like, do you like the matchup?
I do. I'm actually a little more excited about the matchup. I think it makes more sense due to Miles John's UFC tenure. He's actually got some UFC fights under his belt. That's one thing I thought was weird going against Jose was it was his debut, and it's gonna be 8 fights deep, and I was finally starting to feel like a vet. Like almost half my career has been in the UFC cage, which is bizarre because every time I get in there, like I have this mindset where I'm like, oh man, not in the past anyways, where I was like, man, dude, should I be here? Like I know I got in early, like man, I've got to do a lot of emergency growing up in the biggest where it means the most. So yeah, after 8 fights now, like I'm like, okay, no, like I've proven I belong in some areas. I call them glimpses of greatness that I've shown. I want those on a more regular basis now, and I plan to show those on a more regular basis. Me and Ricky had a talk actually, and he left me with this little quote. I was talking about doing something spectacular going into the fight, and he's like, well, take all the pressure off, don't worry about it, just go be. I was like, just go be. I like that. So I put that on my little mirror. I'm like, just go be, just go be. So that's the mindset going into the fight.
So you're a UFC veteran, but you still feel like you're learning on the job.
100%, yeah. Getting more confident with the job now too. Not so much last minute learning. Like I've done some good learning, I've done some good growing, and I want that to show now.
At the end of the day, November 19th, how do you get your hand raised?
I think I'd knock him out. I think he comes forward and wants to throw hard shots. I like to throw hard shots. I think we're both going to meet in the middle and try to bang it out.
I mean, I can't wait for it. The fans can't wait for it. It's going to be a fun fight. Vince, thank you so much for your time, man. If you want to plug your social media, plug any sponsors, and if you want to thank anybody, the floor is yours.
Big shout out to Iridium. He's always taking good care of me. Right now, I've got a website getting built. It's going to be up. I'm going to have some shirts for sale. If you want to show some support, get them on there, www.vendetta.com. Find me on all my socials, at Vendetta135, Instagram and Twitter. Check out Just Cuz Podcast on YouTube. Me and Ricky Simone, talking all things, everything in between. So.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.